Broducers, it's Özgün here. Today I'm gonna listen your demos that you sent me from Discord. And as you know, I'm not doing the feedback streams regularly, so if you don't want to lose the next one, you can join the Discord. And other than that, if you join the Discord, we have a feedback section, so we give feedback each other. If you like to improve your production, you can check the link in the description. And if you're ready, let's get into the tutorial. Okay guys, we are starting with the JOFIREZ track, and let's go. First of all, I love the transition between the climax from the vocal part. But I think in the vocal part, you shouldn't have like too many arps and the melodies in the background. Let us hear the vocal as it is. And then the next thing I like to say, the climax melody is not rememberable. I think the bass line sometimes feels like there's some off key. But other than that, when I pause the track, I don't remember what was the melody. So that's really crucial. Try to make a melody that is totally rememberable even in the, first two bars or something. Try to make it more hummable. Try to make the synth sing for you, Make the synth tell a story. That's really crucial. Other than that, the mixdown is, I think, okay. I think you could have a little bit more high frequencies on the main drop lead. It's a little bit boxy. Maybe you can, saturate it or add a layer or maybe just EQ boost. And also the other problem, the synth, the melody is again a little bit simple. But if you make your synths, the main leads, so much unique, so interesting, instead of the soft leads that we're hearing for many years, this could work. But as it is, the melody is not stand out and the synths are not stand out again. This is what we usually hear in the SAVNS tracks or other in the generic big rooms. So everyone just knows the formula, everyone can predict what is going to be the next. And it's just kind of turning off the track a little bit. I will suggest you to try to get some more unique sounds and try to produce a little bit out of the box. The snare and this 808 kinda a little bit off mixed. Maybe you can blend them better inside of the track. The vocals are really pushed to the back in here. Maybe if you like to have the lead playing, maybe you don't use the vocals. But if you like to have the vocals, the vocoder vocals, maybe you can have some cutoff for the lead, so you gotta separate them. Now they are fighting for the same spot. For example, I love the triplets. I love the changing of the second drop. But probably still when there's some little fills, you still have the same synth, same drop lead playing. Maybe you can, layer it with and bring another fill synth that only plays the fill parts. You can have the same melody, same MIDI, but just try to change the lead so the track could be much more interesting. Now we have a proper Saber style big room track, but the synths and the sounds are a little bit overused, a little bit too generic. Try to find more fresh sounds. This is my feedback for you. Yeah man, that was my feedback for you. This is a nice track, but as I said, you gotta be a little bit more unique to stand out from the other tracks similar to this one. Okay, let's go to the next track. I think the 30-second intro a little bit maybe too loud. Maybe you can have more background synths, some synth shots, bass shots. And other than that, we will check it in the drop, but I don't like the kick. I think it's over distorted and doesn't contain that much heat, that much pump or punch, whatever you call it. Give us some risers, some effects in this section. Again, it's a little bit too empty. Yeah, the mixdown is too hectic, I can say that. Most of the instruments are now fighting for the same spot. You gotta be more clean, like try to low cut the synths that is not the bass and the kick, the others, or try to separate them with pans and try to rebalance them while you get the perfect kick with a little bit decent punch and make the bass, and then try to add every layer, every sound top of that one, and make sure the kick and bass never get masking, and make sure the other sounds that you are adding still sounds like as they are without interrupting or getting interruption. Yeah, now it's like everything is fighting for the same spot and we kinda get a little bit over compressed mix. Maybe the mastering limiter is trying to handle all the peaks, all the sounds, all the rumble inside of it. I would suggest you to try to mix it as clean as you can. Again, like maybe the main sound, the main arc could be a little bit louder, and you have some lead shots, some lead playing sometimes. I'm kind of losing the sound inside of all the other elements. Yeah, we got a nice idea, but the mixdown is not there yet. You gotta make the mixdown much more cleaner than this one. Yeah man, this idea is a really decent hard techno, but the mixdown is not there yet. Keep working on it, and if you need further feedback, you can send me a message from Discord. And let's go to the next track. melody could work. Yeah, it reminds me a little bit Kivu tracks, but I think it's decent enough. I think in the build-up, the synth is looping the same phrase, like it's kind of losing me the interest. It's just repeating the same stuff all over. Maybe you could add some ear candy, change some sounds, maybe stop at certain point and start like maybe with the fast snares. Just try to make the build-up a little bit more interesting. The drop energy is dope. I think the drop idea is also could work. I think it's good and it's really energetic. I love it. But it's kind of too messy. Maybe there's something wrong with the reverb. Maybe you could high cut the reverb a little bit. Maybe you can sidechain the reverb with the leads. Because every lead or every sound playing has its own reverb. And I feel like there are so much reverberation going on. And we are kind of losing the details in the drop.
Divided by anger and driven by chaos, there is a movement, a will to bring back the long-lost solidarity. The power of memories.
In this part, I cannot hear the bass. And the kick is a little bit sounding weird in my opinion. Maybe you can use the drop bass again. It's the more easy way to have a break section with the kick, like the secondary drop, I can say. So you can just use the same kick and bass from the drop and it's gonna be as powerful as the drop at least. Right now, this part a little bit needs some mix down in terms of the relationship between the bass, the break bass with the kick when you are bringing in. Yeah man, if you just mix it a little bit more clean in the drops and fix the breakdown problem, I think this track is done. It's called releasable. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this genre, but still it's a decent track with a little tweaks. So good job on it and let's go to the next track.
Try to
It's a proper drop. It's a proper track so far. I could say that I'm kinda losing the bass in the drop. The drop lead's a little bit too loud in my opinion, and it's kinda masking the crunch of the bass, which you definitely need in a big room track like that to get stand out, you know? Because everyone has the tonal sub kick and have a soft drop melody top of it, but if you have a crunchy, weird, cool bass beneath it, make sure it's not masking by the lead. And it's kind of tricky to mix. You gotta sacrifice a little bit of power from the main drop lead and give it to the, you know, the bass, the main bass. I think if you do that, the drop could be so much powerful. Again, this part, maybe you can volume up the bass a little bit. Yeah man, the JOFIREZ, this feedback for you. Just check this melody. It's not that much unique, but it's still rememberable. This is what you aiming for a big room track or this kind of EDM tracks. Just make sure like after one bar, after one loop, the audience could be remember and kind of hum and kind of sing the melody. So yeah, this was a cool example. In my opinion, it's not that much unique. It's what we used to hear in most of the big room tracks, but it's rememberable and this is what you definitely need in a big room track. Again, this drop lead even louder than the first drop. I could just lower the drop leads a little bit. It's a generic big room track, but it's covering almost all the rules. Maybe a little bit tweaks on the mixing, and this is totally release ready. I think it's done. Congratulations, good job. Let's go to the next track.
Close your eyes as we dance by the firelight. Yeah. Hear the sound of the ocean awaken. Make it better.
Dude, you know what would be amazing? If you didn't tease the full leads in the build-up and just filter them in, don't give them full power because it's spoiling the drop surprise, you know? You have an interesting lead, but you just tease it too early. I kinda know the drop, exactly how it's going to sound in the build-up. I think that's something to avoid. Just don't tease the full sound in the build-up and in the drop so you can surprise the people. And probably in the first hit, you definitely need a step. It's not impacting as hard as it should.
Make it better.
But if you just have the step bam, 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 dun, dun, it would be a little bit bigger on the drop impact. And I think I don't like the kick. Maybe it's too punchy. I don't know, but it's something missing on the kick. I have the bass. I think bass is a little bit overtaking the place of the kick, and I'm kind of missing the kick. And the second lead could be as big as the first lead. Maybe just the volume boost, maybe just EQ tweaks. And you should match the balance of the two leads.
Wish now will never show me your way. Tears forever could it be fake? Make it better with me now. With me now. Close your eyes as we dance by the firelight. Yeah. Hear the sound of the ocean awaken. Yeah.
Dude, perfect ARP, perfect climax part. I'm amazed, I love it. That's the emotions, you know, I love it.
Make it better.
Maybe in the second drop you can have the rolling techno bass kind of stuff. Just try to give it a little bit more interesting. It's now a bit different rhythm, a bit different melody, but still most of the things sound same. If you just try to come up with something a little bit different than the first drop, I think this track is really good. It's out of the box. It's a big room track, but it surprised me in many aspects. So congratulations, I really love it. I think the problem with this part, this break melody part, is lacking of bass. If you just check the big snare just before that part, it has more low end than the whole climax part. So if I have the big snare with that much low end, I expect the next part is at least kind of have the same low power. But now we are losing the power, but we gotta regain the power because that's the main climax part of the break. I think this break kind of reminds me of the Sabres tracks. It's like the sounds are from Sabres, the lead kind of Sabres, the kick and bass kind of sounds like their, you know, signature sound. I will try to make something out of the box, try to explore the sound, try to come up with more ear candy, try to use the weird synths that no one used, you know. I know it's the hard thing, but if you don't like to be too much sounding like Sabres, you must work more, because this kind of big room I think is really dangerous, because most of the things already done by the big artists in the industry. So if you make something similar to them, it sounds like it's their track. You gotta take some parts and put your own vibe with it. And I know it takes time, and you will get maybe even more struggle by searching for your own sound. But this is my suggestion, because as it is, the drop is just remind me the Sabres tracks. It's decent, the mixdown is good, the sound are good, but I kinda maybe heard this kind of drops more than 100 times in last 2 or 3 years. By the way, the break melody is really nice. I love the glides, I love the emotions, but just go for a different drop. Try to change it, because this break is really decent. So man, that's all my feedback. I hope that was positive and, constructive, because I really enjoyed the break sections, but the drops remind me other tracks. Just try to come up with something unique if you like. So if you like, just try to come up with something new for your drops, and you can send me again for a further feedback. And congratulations, man. Let's go to the next track.
All you bitches, are you ready for the Kikkdrum? Are you ready for the Kikkdrum? Are you ready for the Kikkdrum? I said 1, 2, Kikkdrum.
So I don't know much about this genre, but I can say that if the Kikkdrum is the name of the track, I like to hear a little bit more punchy Kikkdrum, but maybe it's genre specific, so I'm not sure what to say. But for my taste, I prefer a little bit more bigger bass and maybe a little bit more punchier Kikkdrum. Yeah, maybe the bass is okay, but the punch of the kick is not, hitting as hard. It's not shaking my speakers. Yeah, maybe it's all about the volume or maybe some EQ. But yeah, the power is amazing, man. I just want to break my studio right now.
You're fucking hardhead. I want you to prepare yourself. Just get back to the floor and let it go.
Tick, 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 drop, 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 Kikkdrum. Tick, 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 drum. All you bitches, are you ready for the Kikkdrum? Are you ready for the Kikkdrum? Are you ready for the Kikkdrum? I said 1, 2, Kikkdrum.
I think this part is a little bit of empty. Maybe you got some white noise or something, because I like to, shake the ground, but I don't get that much power. Maybe it's too dry with just kick and bass, but it's my opinion. As I said, I don't know about the raw style genre. But I can say that the breaks are amazing. I love the ear candies. I love how you go to the triplets, how you're changing the rhythm, playing with the vocal. This track is really nice. And yeah, the technical feedback, I say, on my techno, old big room producer aspect. So maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, that's my opinions about it.
Dead 1, 2, kick drum.
Dude, I think the mixdown is really decent. Other than the kick part, other than the first drop kick and the second drop background stuff, I have no negative feedbacks on it. This track is, I think, release ready already. That just sounds really cool in my opinion. Congratulations. I love the pants, I love the ear candies. It's really going nice so far.
That's why I think this party's a bit too wild.
That guy there was talking about house music. I don't know what it is, Echo. Oh my god, look at
Let's
the
get out of here.
Do you already sent this track to me on the regular feedback section? I kinda remember this track, but I think it's improved since I last listened to it. Dude, I couldn't even talk during the track. My brain was trying to catch up with the too much content inside of it. I love it. I think this is a really decent track. I don't listen this kind of music, but I can say that it's a good music. I don't have any negative feedbacks on it. So if you're gonna release the track, just let me know. I wanna listen after you release it as well. I love the idea, like the sounds, the synths that remind me the Veil. The team is there. And with the Tones of River, I feel like the track is happening in the underwaters. So that's amazing. With the sound selection, you are supporting your team. Other problem is maybe the drop leads are kind of too messy. I'm not sure, maybe it's about the layers, maybe it's about stereo placement. But I think they could be a little bit more dry and in your face. But I think it's the choice to theme of the track. But maybe you don't even listen this feedback. I'm really enjoying it so far. Probably the bass could be more warmed in 200 to 500 Hz. Maybe you can boost the bass, maybe you can saturate the low mids, the upper bass frequencies, or maybe you can layer it with other bass. If you just, fill up some space on the low mids, give it a little bit more warmth, it could be more bigger. The drop could sound more impactful. Maybe the main super soul lead a little bit too harsh to my ear. Maybe you can give some attack, or remove some attack in the synth. Become a little bit less clicky. It sometimes works on this kind of melodies. Yeah, man, it's such a nice idea, but there's some mixing problems. If you can solve it, you can send me again for further feedbacks. And let's go to the next track.
The synthetic narcotics, including such drugs as demerol and methadone, are the result of scientists' attempt to produce a
It's good to see the Gabriel sending this track. So I remember this track because I give him mentorship. He was taking my mentorship for a while. And this was his maybe one of the first tracks that he sent me and showed me. So I already give him my personal feedbacks and this is how he came up with the final track. I think it's good. It's still Saber's kind of big room, but the melodies is a little bit out of the box. The ear candies on the drop is nice. The little melody tricks like the faster notes kind of giving some interesting to the drop. I'm really enjoying it so far. Only thing, maybe the break vocals in the first part could be just a little bit louder.
The synthetic narcotics, including such drugs as demerol.
But other than that, I think it's so smooth so far.
And in a fight, the non-addictive narcotic.
Yeah, man, the glides, the main drop, the plucky drop lead is kind of unusual. It's kind of unique. So congratulations and good job. Dude, it's just really decent. You know, the sample selection is good, the production is good. I feel like this is a beat, you know, I could rap on it and it fits perfectly. But yeah, this is really proper beat. I can say that this is a proper beat. The kick is good, the bass is good, the drum kits are good, so just congratulations, this is already a finished track. I think if we compare the bass and the kick, the bass is too big or the kick is too small. We have a punch of the kick like in the 100 Hz I think, but the sub and maybe the body is not enough in this kind of track and kinda, you know, it feels like too small. And in here you have, I think, two synths. One is a holding sustained note and one is playing some arpeggiato. So the arpeggiato is losing because the sustained one is too big. Maybe you can high cut it, you can push the volume a little bit lower. So you can separate the synths and now they are kind of merging and fighting for the same frequencies. And I cannot follow them at the same time. You know, when you have the percussion hitting at the same time with the kick becomes better. So maybe you should work on a top kick to fix it because the plucky parts in this drop with the kick sounds already so decent. Yeah, man, this is a proper emotional track. The melodies are decent. There's some mixdown problems and maybe sound selection. If you can handle this, it's already release ready. Good job. somehow I don't like the clap sample. Maybe you can change it because it's kind of having more click and power than the kick, and it's kind of fighting with the power of the kick. Maybe you can just search for different claps. Maybe just volume it down just maybe 1 or 2 dB and probably it's gonna solve the problem. I love the melodies, I love the synths. It sounds really decent. It reminds me of the Afterlife style tracks. And I'm loving it so far, really decent. The only problem when we have more layers top of each other, I'm kind of losing the kick. Just make sure you have the kick as not untouched, unmasked all the time. This is really crucial. I love how you pan the sounds. It sounds really decent. So we don't have any part that doesn't contain a kick. Maybe you just give a break, make a breakdown without the kick, at least 8 bars. I love how you're masking the kick, filtering out the kick in this section. But still maybe you can just give some parts, you know, with only the synths, the background stuff, the vocals. And then you can give the kick back in. Because without a proper breakdown, a total silent part, the track energy is not changing. It's too stable. And at some point, the audience could lose the interest on it. But the melodies are good, the sound selection is good, so this is a perfect track. So it just needs a space without the kick and you know that much power. Just lower the energy level to the bottom and then just build it up till the second drop. So it could add so much to the impact of the drops. So the 30 seconds with just the lead a little bit too long to me. Maybe try to add some at least sweep down, sweep up, so keep the things interesting. The kick is a little bit too loud. Maybe you can lower the kick just a little bit and give more bass. Probably I will give more volume to the vocals, and maybe if you like to make the vocals bigger, you can add some chorus sound. Or just put the insert, but use it like 10 or 15 or 20%. So you can just make the vocals more wide, more big without giving it volume. It works like this kind of acapellas. If the quality is low, the chorus is going to mask. You know, it's going to sound like it's more quality. I would expect some pre-drop feel, maybe some snare, maybe some clap, so it helps the impact of the drop. I love the second drop lead. It's cool. It sounds like the modern big room techno sounds. And yeah, if you fix the little mixing problems, it's already release ready. Good job. I think the white noise is a bit too loud in this section. And you could have maybe a little bit bigger kick. It's kind of, the bass is really big, like really low, really dark, but the kick kind of losing power, that kind of bass sound. I would give maybe just volume or maybe at least some click boost, maybe 3K to 5K. So this drop took 2 minutes. I think it's too long, and it's not too long, but if you repeat the same motif for 2 minutes, it's gonna sound like it's boring. I would, stop at some point or maybe add some more ear candy, more synths, like do something that could make me listen 2 minutes of this kind of beats, And we are lacking of some ear candies, some sweep, some transition sound. And I would go for a total different second drop, at least try to change some things, maybe change the rhythm of the bass. Now it sounds like it has the same as the first drop, but with like maybe more drums. I think this is something to avoid. I will try to make more synth work or change some stuff. But yeah, like main vibe is good. It's dark, it sounds good, but it's kind of too repetitive for my taste. If you just fix it, if you add more ear candies, it's gonna be a real dope track. The beginning of the drop is nice. This second lead is a little bit too silent than comparing to the first lead. And in this part, we are losing a bit of the bass power. Maybe you can rebalance the bass.
Every time you leave, you can wait to come back. You'll be on your knees until you hit the road, Jack. Wouldn't it be better if you never left? And don't pretend you throw this love away.
I remember this vocal from SPLICE. It's a little bit overused, but why not? I personally love the breaks. So it's unique, you know, the synths are good. The climax are short, it's just good as it should be. And then you have the drum and bass kind of rhythm. I love it. It sounds really decent. So you go for the modern Kikkdrum, like the first drop is more Kikkdrumish, the second drop is like more melodic, like a trance. But I think the second drop bass shouldn't be like the generic bomb Kikkdrum bass. Maybe you need some crunchy layers. Maybe you can go for rolling bass kind of trance bass line. Yeah, it would make it perfect, but as it is, it's not bad, but still could be improved in the bass line. Yeah man, there's some little feedbacks, but if you just do them, it's a release ready track. And we are in the last track of our section, and let's go. So the break section is taking 2 minutes and we are still not in the drop yet. So if I were you, I would get some reference track and try to match the parts if you are struggling with the arrangement, because 2 minutes of intro, 2 minutes of break, and we are not even come to the drop is too much. Like, as I remember, I read it from somewhere and they say like after 14 seconds, people just lose the interest. So you gotta make sure there's something new coming. So you got only 14 seconds to keep the attention. That's why 2 minutes of break is too long. I think the track is not mastered, it's a little bit too silent, and the drop could be in terms of sound selection. So if you are going for a techno-ish sound, and also this reminds me the Hilo tracks, probably that kind of vibe if you are looking for. You can get the reference from Hilo tracks, his latest releases are super dope and similar to this kind of synth. So I just tried to choose the samples, the kick, the bass, you know, the drums, the ARP, the sounds from similar vibe to Hilo track, and it's gonna affect the full production. But as it is, I think it's decent, but there are some problems with the sound selection and overall balancing of the mix down. Like the ARP is good, the main melody, the bass, the white steady melodic sound is good. Everything is really decent, but the sound selection, but the a bit balancing and a proper mastering could take this track, take your productions to the next level. But I think you should do whatever you're doing because it's promising. If you work more on this genre, I'm sure you are gonna come up with some really hit tracks in the future. So yeah man, good job, and if you have more demos, just don't forget to send it from the Discord. So guys, yeah, it was really exhausted. We listened tons of tracks and I hope the feedbacks are constructive and useful so you can apply this to your own productions. Don't forget, if you join the Discord, we already have a feedback section so you don't need to wait for the next feedback stream. And you can post your tracks to the feedback section. You can give feedbacks to the other tracks. And we are trying to build a cool small community. That's some producers trying to help each other out. So if you want to be a part of it, the link in the description. Today that was it guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.